the second episode of Contributor First meeting on Wednesday, 20th of October. I mean, second episode today, but normally it's sixth episode of the Contributor First meeting. And today we have a special guest. But before I introduce Fran and the topic we're going to discuss, I see that we don't have any viewers yet. So, as usual, some testing. And Franito, huge question and request to you, because last time you told me about these comments in Twitter. And
Yeah,
I Kuda tried to replicate what you were doing, but he couldn't find any. I also tried. So I think it might be that it's just in the mobile app. I don't know, because I also couldn't see anything in the UI.
Oh, look at me. I'm in the live stream.
So I think it might be that it's just... Don't make me listen to myself. It hurts.
I'm gonna send a message on the live stream. Hello.
Okay. Interesting that it's still showing up as Periscope.
No, you
Can
read
you?
it.
I mean, can you?
Oh, damn! It disappeared.
What?
I mean, look.
Can you try to make a screenshot, like
yeah,
screen dump?
Let's try.
Hey, we have some people already joining. Hey, Alejandra. Hey, Jesse. Just give us a second. We're checking, because we're checking if it's actually possible to add comments on Twitter. Hey, Kuda. I mean, do you ever sleep? Yeah, you've been here in the morning, now in the afternoon. Take a break, mate.
You've been there too, as well. You've been there in the morning and the afternoon.
Who asks you? Did I ask you a question so you answer? My mom was always telling me, like, don't speak if you're not asked to speak. Like, as simple as that.
Good, I didn't ask you either.
Again, you did it again.
Yeah.
So, could you see the comment?
I sent you a Telegram message.
Okay, but you could see and you added a comment.
Yes.
I mean, I'm opening now a live stream on my web.
Yes. Actually, here's a screenshot. I'm gonna try to show it to the camera. Maybe it will not be good enough. But you see?
Yeah, it's and you're using the native Twitter app or some custom app?
Yes, native.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to Restream folks, because, like, seriously, there's nothing in the web UI. There's nothing. Okay, so it's time to talk about something useful. So and I see we have people here already. So let me share a chat with others. Although I see all people. Oh, Jonas is here even. I see all people are coming from YouTube, and now I can't see chat. Can you see chat messages?
I don't see it. I mean, not in the live stream.
Yeah, it should be like on the right hand side.
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, evenings are not for us. Okay, anyway, so but as I said, like, all the comments I see are in the in YouTube. So if you want to interact with other people from the stream, head on to YouTube live chat. But also, you are invited to join us here live if you want. It's the link to the Restream Studio on Twitch and YouTube. So if you want to join us live, then feel invited. But yeah, so today we're gonna talk about maybe let me advertise a bit in the morning edition. So in the morning we talked unexpectedly about Chatbot. So I definitely invite you to watch the recording from the that was recorded in the morning Europe time. Is available or on our social networks. And also, before we start, I'd like to let you know that I did this below overlay on my own. That's my skills. So you see the address of the conference website thanks to my yeah skills, and you can see logos of our premium sponsors: IBM, Ably, WSO2, and Solus. And I have to say, Solus is somebody that came up with the logo from Solus. Um, had a very good idea because it looks like the biggest one on the list because of the design. So it's the most visible here. So congratulations to whoever designed Solus logo. So please, Jesse, if you can just pass it on to someone at Solus that I gave this shout out. And now we can go into the details. So we're gonna talk about contributing to Glee project, but and that's why Fran is here. Normally, I would not invite Fran at all, but people asked, so yeah. I mean, and Jonas didn't want to be here with me. Pretended that he's too rusty with Glee, so that's why I had to invite Fran. But anyway, thank you for joining me, Fran. And and please, I don't think you have to introduce yourself, but I think that we should definitely start from like some kind of introduction to Glee. What's the purpose of the project?
Yes. Okay, so just gotta add something. I'm also disappointed that Jonas didn't introduce Glee. I watched the whole stream waiting for him to introduce Glee, and now look what you made. I, you had to invite me, right? So Jonas, I know you're watching. Look what you made, man. Anyway, um, how can I start? So what's Glee, right? Glee is, let me share the screen. I'm not gonna share my whole screen just in case you see something undesirable. Uh, okay, can you? Okay, thank you. Oh, the banner is hiding us. So, so what's Glee? As you can see on the if Lucas stops changing the layout at some point, you will be able to see it. As you can see in the description, Glee is the API, the AsyncAPI framework that will make you smile again. That is a poor definition, but I really wanted to accomplish something like that. Not this one, Lucas. and and so why I was why I was giving that title to the framework, right, in the beginning. So like I said, like my aim with Glee was to precisely achieve that. Like we want people to really feel like, damn, this is really good. This is really seamless. This is really like it's a pleasure to use Glee. It is super easy, um, and I hope that it is. If it's not like this yet, I hope it's in the right way, in the right path. And yeah. So getting a little bit more into details on what is it about. Um, we've always had the discussion in the community, like, should we go design first or code first? Like, um, design the AsyncAPI file first and then generate the code from there, or should we start the code and generate the AsyncAPI file from the code? And I wanted to explore, like, maybe something related to design first, but like a further um, way of generating code, if you want, like a mixed model, right? And I'm calling it spec first approach, right? So it is that you still need the spec to be defined first, as in design first, right? But the cool thing is that your code will be using the spec as a config file. So this problem that you have with code first, where you have your code and you generate the spec, what happens is that usually this spec is generated via some annotations in the code. And what happens there is that if you forget to update the annotations, then your documentation will not be updated or will not be correct. So even in this case, you might be committing mistakes. In the case of design first, there's a well-known problem. It is not like a widely adopted approach, because you have to design upfront the specification and the API, and then you generate the code from there. What's the problem with this? You keep working on the code, you forget to update the spec, and then we have the same problem. Spec and documentation are not on par. So that is easily solvable with the spec first approach, which is your code is going to be relying on the spec as a config file. I'm not inventing anything new. So there have been many frameworks out there, like OpenAPI backend. I think it was called like this. I think it's I don't remember. API backend. Yeah. So there's this OpenAPI backend framework which does exactly that, but for OpenAPI, and I think this is cool. So and also, without even looking further, GraphQL does precisely that. So in GraphQL, to create an API, you first have to define the schema file. So then um, you will not be able to create any GraphQL API without the schema. You need the spec first, right? Okay, so that's it. Let me just see um, if I can explore a little bit more of this. How can I? Do you think, Lucas, I can share then two screens, two windows, or will I have to share the whole screen?
Like, what do you mean, like two windows? Like have two screen shares?
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. No worries. So, okay, let me just start a new. Yeah. Anyway, I don't even need to show this documentation anymore. Um, Let me start a new project on VS Code, and so we can have it there. Okay. I'm gonna share what I'm doing. Otherwise, this is so boring for people. So that's what I have so far. Okay. Okay.
Should I enable it already?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I thought you already nailed it. I'm gonna just do a test. And so following, I'm just gonna follow what we have on the Glee repo, right? The documentation that we have there, and it says it's as easy as running a command like this. And should I increase the font size maybe?
I mean, for me it looks good.
Much
It's but
maybe?
it's
I don't
not yet on YouTube. So give me a sec. There's a bigger delay. Oh yeah, it's much like make it a bit bigger,
Smaller? Bigger? Even more?
even a bit more, like just one level more. Yeah, yeah.
Like this? Okay.
Yep.
So npx create Glee app. So for those who are familiar with Next.js, it is inspired on Next.js. So Alejandro is saying that it's too big. Okay, a little bit smaller. Cool. So npx create Glee app, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Typing. So it's going to ask you your project name. You're going to create a new API. So I don't know. What do you want to create the API about, Lucas?
Chatbot,
Chatbot and okay, chatbot.
chatbot server, whatever.
Yeah,
Chatbot is a
it's
good
okay.
name.
Chatbot. Yeah, so it's installing dependencies, which might take like a decade or something. Polish people. Jonas hobbies.
Payload would not be too large.
Okay.
And
So
just for the context, so I want to call it chatbot because in this morning edition, when we talked about chatbot and I was talking about like areas to contribute, I explained that chatbot it's basically a POC implementation, not something that like is supposed to be used on production. So the ideas coded in current chatbot server will most probably have to be super refactored. And I said like if it's at the end exposing WebSocket API, why not rewrite it with Glee?
it should
Um,
be like super straightforward.
yeah,
You'll see, we're gonna write a simple chatbot now. So yeah, I mean, like a really simple. Don't expect natural language processing or anything. Oh damn! It just came back. So Jonah just came back from another of his hobbies. He doesn't even recognize Glee anymore. Finally, yes. So I'm gonna just show what it's in there. So it's we called it chatbot. So there you go. You have chatbot. I'm not sure. I can. I don't want to open the project in another window. Otherwise, I will have to reshare the window. So maybe I can specify here test. Where is it? Ah, no, it wasn't here. It's okay. Now, yes. Okay. Oh, first time I see this. I don't trust myself. But now I lost the terminal. I hate.
Have you seen this comment from?
No. So yeah, exactly.
Now we
He
know why
can't.
Jonas didn't want to talk about Glee.
Yeah, he can't promise. Yeah, I mean, luckily for you, Jonas, I'm not gonna demo, Java support on Glee because it's not even there yet, stable. I'm gonna show the code, but I'm not gonna run it. So don't worry. Okay, so looking at the code, the structure of the code, what it generated, you get a markdown file, your README file, which is like super simple, and package JSON and package log because this is a Node.js project license, and an AsyncAPI YAML file. And you might be wondering like, what's in there? What's in the AsyncAPI YAML file, right? So let's just explore it. So it creates a demo project for you. When you just run npx create Glee app, it creates a demo one, a simple one, right? So it has a server. It's a WebSocket API that is listening on port 3000. It has a hello channel by default, and it's going to receive messages and hello messages, and it's going to reply with hello messages as well. Super sophisticated, right? And the hello message is just whatever string. We don't uh, we don't know what's going to be about. And so as you can see, like we don't have so much logic here. We only have an AsyncAPI file. We have a .env file, which is automatically populated, and we have a functions folder. And the only function here is the only file here is onHello.js. Just so you know, it's called onHello because we say that whenever we receive, that is highly confusing. Like whenever we receive a hello message, it's gonna execute onHello, right? So we have onHello here, and onHello function has nothing else than just replying saying hello from Glee. You said blah blah blah. It's an echo server, right? Um, well, it's kind of an echo server. If you say um, hola Lucas, it's going to say hello from Glee. You said hola Lucas, right? So let's just run it. Let's stop talking, or if you want to check on the package JSON, you have the dev script and the start script. This is meant for production. This is for development. So let's just do npm run dev. Let's wait a little bit. Cool. It's there. So what happened? It's telling you that this is using Lee version 0.4.47. It's running in development mode, and selected servers are WebSocket. Why it says selected servers? Because your AsyncAPI file, as you know, it can have like multiple servers, so you might not want to execute all of them, or you don't want to expose all of them. So yeah, it's only using the WebSocket server, and it's ready and accepting connections. So let's just send something. Where is it accepting connections? From 0000. Localhost is fine. 3000. Okay, so what was that? W socket? What's it?
Socat.
Socket only, right? Yeah.
No, I think it's. Damn it, I don't remember. WS Socat or W Socat or Socat.
No, so okay. Command not found. Come on, I had it in my machine. I promise. Let me just. So socket is it should work. I don't know why is it is not working. Socket install socket.
So is it socket or WSocket?
Socket. Maybe I uninstalled it. Don't recall uninstalling socket. That is weird.
WebSocket. Web socket.
True. Yeah. True. WebSocket. Yeah. Okay.
But we are covering the screen with our faces.
Beautiful faces.
But still. You can
This is
maybe
too
close
big.
just close Explorer on the left. You don't need it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I can't remember where. How do I?
Just paste the link. WS column / and the
Okay.
localhost
Yeah.
server.
Okay. Thank you.
As simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how to press it. Okay. So
I think you have some errors on the server.
yes. Okay. That is a good demo. Okay. So it says a client attempted to connect to channel slash, right? So the root channel, because I wasn't, as you can see here, I wasn't passing any path to the server. But this channel is not defined in your AsyncAPI file. So it is not going to accept the connection. That's why it's rejecting the connection. Okay. Why? Because we have channels here, hello, that in WebSockets by default, what it does is that channels are paths on the URL, right? So to connect to channel hello, it will be WebSocket blah 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 slash. Okay, so connected to several WebSockets and hola Lucas. Okay, so it says hello from Glee. You said hola Lucas, blah blah blah. Okay, and you can see all the details here. Hello was received from WebSocket server. Hola Lucas was the content, and hello has been sent to the WebSocket server with the following content. So let's just get a little bit more. I don't know. Let's create
Maybe
a
have a look
chatbot.
on the. Let's have a look on the question maybe from Kuda, because I think it's super valid.
What is it?
Maybe you can try this.
No, it doesn't regenerate the functions. Yeah, it doesn't. So you have to regenerate the function. The thing is that, for instance, if I don't know. So it says that payload has to be a string. If I try to reply with something like an object, I don't know, something true, right? And now I don't know why is it. It is not reloading. It should be reloading. Okay, let's just run the server again, and let me just start the server again. If I do this, so you get an error, right? Why? Hola was sent, right? But so hola was received. Sorry, that's fine. But yeah, that's fine because it's a that is fine because it is expecting a type string, a message that is a string, right? But we are trying to reply with an object, not with a string, right? We're trying to reply with this, with a JSON object. So it is going to tell you that that is incorrect, and the error is here, right? And it's a type should be string. Does it make sense? So this is, just get it. That's all it does. Like, it doesn't regenerate functions. So think about it. What I just did before, I used something called create GLI app. This is a CLI, a simple CLI to help you create a new GLI project. But GLI itself doesn't generate any functions. It just checks your AsyncAPI file and see if your code is sending and receiving proper messages, and and makes it easier. And you don't have to worry about how do I connect to a Kafka uh, cluster, or how do I connect to an MQTT broker. You don't have to worry about it. You put all the details on the AsyncAPI file here on the servers. If you have secrets, obviously put them here on the .m file or on your environment variables on production, and that's it. And it will connect to Kafka or to MQTT or whatever for you. You don't have to worry about maintaining this logic. And see, the only code that you have to write is what is inside functions. That's the only thing that you have to do. You have to take care of this code. Obviously, we cannot generate this because we don't know what you want to do with GLI, right? So this is like the minimum thing that we can ask you. And so, example, we're going to receive a message, right? Let's just say instead of hello, I want to, I don't know, we want to create a chatbot. So let's just call it chat, okay? On chat message, right? I'm gonna call this, and now this is chatbot on chat message. We don't have hello anymore. We have chat message. And chat message is just a string, okay? So what's going to happen is the only thing that we'll have to do here is, since the operation ID is now on chat message, I have to rename the function, the file here on chat message.js. Come here, and that's it. We don't have to change anything else for now, okay? And we run the project again, which, by the way, it will be reloading automatically. I don't know why it is not doing it. And let's connect again. So now it is chat, right? Did I change it? So now the channel is chat.
It's not visible, Fran. Close Explorer.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Can't we just reorganize this? Move panel to right, maybe. Still not visible. Then.
And I don't know how to move our faces.
Can you just hide our faces, maybe?
Let me just try to move it.
Oh yeah, that should be
Okay.
enough. Yeah, cool. Move panel button. Yeah. So okay. No, too much. Okay, so I'm gonna connect to /chat endpoint with WebSocket, and I'm gonna. So it says connected to server WebSocket, and I'm gonna send a message. Again, this didn't change, right, as before. So if I say, for instance, hello chatbot, I'm gonna get the same message back. So we're gonna change this. Let's create a simple chatbot, right? If say we just switch maybe if event payload or switch event payload. Event payload is let me just check. Yeah, I think it should be enough. So if I receive a hello message, I should be returning the same message, which I don't even write. And if I say, how are you? And the bot should say, I don't know, I'm fine, thanks. Well, actually, no. I'm tired of this response. I'm having a hard time. Always positive messages. I get tired. Okay, so let's just restart the server. And so if I say hello, it doesn't say, isn't it like this? Sorry, let's put the default here. And known, known, and known, and wait. It's weird that WebSocket doesn't close the connection when I close the server. So if I say hello, unknown command, hello. Oh, oh, because of this last N? Really? Because of the new line? Come on. Okay. Okay. Hello. Oh, hello from Glee. You said hello. Okay, that works. How are you? I'm having a hard time. And as you can see, everything that you had to do is just code the functionality in this file here, and that's it. You have access to all the event details like the payload, like the headers, the server in which this message was received in case you have multiple servers. So for instance, imagine that we have one WebSocket server and or imagine that we have an MQTT broker and a Kafka broker, and we want to distinguish like whenever you receive this message from Kafka, you should do this, but whenever you receive this message from MQTT broker, you should do that, right? So event server will give you this information. And a bunch of other stuff. I think everything should be documented by now. I hope so. Let me just check.
Yeah, so basically I think the most important part is covered, right? So you
Yeah,
covered
I think it is covered.
you covered the vision and you covered
Yeah,
the the simplest use case.
yeah, and it is like you see, this is this a simple use case as you said. Like all your functionality is here, is on the functions folder. You don't have to maintain any connectivity logic, like how to connect to a server or how to that. You get rid of this. Um, but there's something else that you will have to forgive me, but I don't remember how to do it. There are examples on the Glee project, by the way. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna just do something. there is also a special folder which is called lifecycle, and let's just call this on start. The name can be anything. It doesn't have to be on start. Lifecycle though needs to be needs to have that name. So I'm gonna okay. Let me check. I'm gonna just copy paste what do we have in the examples. I'll explain now. So I'm gonna call it, I don't know, something like on connect. So what I'm doing now is, I showed how people can write code, business logic to react to incoming events, and then you can send events as a reaction of these events coming to your application, right? But maybe in certain cases you want to be proactive and you don't want to react to messages. You want to be the first one to send a message, right? So in these cases, you have like multiple hooks are all documented. Like for instance, whenever whenever a new server connection is open with WebSocket, whenever you connect to the broker, whenever it's disconnected, whenever it reconnects, whenever there are many events. So in these cases, you can control like what you can tell Glee, I want you to execute this function whenever a new server connection is open, whenever we run WebSocket, right? Whenever we establish the connection, and only when it connects to /chat, right? Not with other channels. So what it's going to do, let me just start it again. Okay. So when I connect to chat, to work, did I say? Damn it. What am I doing wrong? Let me just make this is in case. It's figuring. That is weird. That shouldn't be happening. Anyway, that's like you said. I'm not gonna be debugging the code live. So the vision is that like you can have, if you have a look at the file tree on the left at the Explorer, you will see that there is no other code than just your code, your business logic, nothing else, like nothing that it's repeated. This kind of code that it's like connect to the Kafka cluster or connect or create a new WebSocket server on this port or whatever, and or like what's it called? You have frameworks like Spring Cloud Stream or Spring framework that abstract you from these connectivity things, but you still have to, you still have to configure the framework. You still have to initialize the framework in your code. You have to do some code that is always the same in each app, right? So we get rid of this. It's like the framework is smart enough to understand that your functions are there and it's connected to your AsyncAPI file via the operation ID, right? Via this operation ID thing, right? And we use some names here on the lifecycle folder by convention. Does it make sense?
Makes sense to me. But now, like, because 15 minutes left, and I think we should focus on a contribution part
Sure.
in the project. So basically, if you could say what's the state of the project, like where would be like, because I saw also some discussions in Slack about TypeScript.
Yeah.
So like, what's the stage, like where people can help? Um,
So I would say that the state of the project is, I would say it's clear, right? It is like you saw it, like it needs some love. There's something there that is working. It clearly needs some testing and some love. Like there are certain things that should be working and they're not, and it might need some better documentation on how to use it on the repo. And there are a few issues open on the repo that I took the initiative to open in the beginning that are precisely about that. Let me just share this again. Okay. So there are some issues here that I created, like so supporting different AsyncAPI file names. Like some people right now, it is only reading asyncAPI.yaml, uh, but you might want to use JSON or YML, right? Something like that. So that will be supported. Um, we need support for clusterization. So if you want to have this framework, let's say if you want to have this WebSocket server running on production, you might want to have multiple instances of the same server, right, to serve more traffic, right? Uh, in the case of WebSocket, it might not be a problem, but in the case of an instance subscribing to a broker and reacting to a specific event, you don't want to have four instances reacting four times to the same event. You want the four instances to be uh, communicating and saying, no, this one is mine, right? I take this event, so the other three don't take it, right? So this kind of thing needs to be done. We need to add support for retries, back pressure, at least once, and exactly once semantics whenever it's possible. So I'm happy to explain what they are about if someone is interested. And yeah, and also there's a cool idea that we had in the beginning that is like if if you can have this code, the code that we have on the functions folder, um, so maybe this code doesn't have to be there at all. Like this code probably can be on a function as a service, in a Lambda service or something that, like you want to have this on AWS Lambda, this code. So GLI could be configured on the AsyncAPI file. You could reference that it will be executing this Lambda function whenever you receive an event on this channel, right? So that will make it super cool because then people can write this code in different languages, right? Not just JavaScript. And last but not least is what you said. So there is also another one here, which is port GLI to TypeScript. I have no strong opinion about it. Like I'm comfortable with JavaScript, but it's true that if we port it to TypeScript, then well, you get all the benefits of a strong typing language, of course. Um, but but also, for instance, when I was trying to show the use case of like if you do event dot payload, event dot header, event dot server, so with TypeScript you will have this, like people will type event dot and they will get a list of suggestions, right? Like what they get there, like what this event looks like, right? but that's like I'm happy to port this to TypeScript. I mean, not myself. I'm not proficient on TypeScript anymore, and yeah. So if someone is willing to take it, that would be cool. Anything else that you think I'm missing, Lucas?
No, so like, mm, I think you highlighted the most important stuff. So basically, like, I would summarize the project is good to have some simple use cases. It supports WebSockets,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah,
So you either pick up one of the issues from the list.
mhm,
You either help with the review, because I see there are some pull requests, so definitely help us out with the review
yeah,
if possible.
yeah,
And the third is, I mean, at least like from my point of view, because of other stuff, unfortunately, I didn't have time to play with Glee. But I think, like, especially in case of Glee, where it's so important, like the not destiny, like, how do you say it, like, the goal of the project is to make development uh, Glee, and that basically means
yeah,
that I think most of the improvements that you can contribute will come out from you using the project first.
yeah,
So, for example, when I'm thinking about working on the chatbot and rewriting the chatbot server that communicates between the user and the chatbot model, um, I, for example, on my own would not be able to jump into issues before I
mhm,
actually try the project on my own, like try
yeah,
some basic implementation, and then I see what's missing, what could be improved, etc., etc.
yeah.
So,
So one thing before I forget, there are a few examples on the examples folder that will be enough to, I mean, at least to get started, to get you started, right? A little bit to understand how things work. And another thing, so right now it only works with WebSockets and MQTT. We
yeah,
should,
MQTT as
I
well.
think, yeah. So we should be extending this like to Kafka, to NQP, to But I will say that, I mean, we can proceed with this as we want, um, but make um, I will make sure that we test it properly with WebSockets and MQTT and make it super resilient and super cool and ready for production. And then we start adding more protocols, right? Like then we add one more protocol and we make it also production ready and like this, right? So that's just a suggestion. People can add support for Kafka even before we finish the WebSocket support, or that's okay. That's also welcome. So yeah.
Yeah. Any questions from the audience, except for, like, good comment from Jonas. We basically had very similar conclusions about contributing about Modelina last week. And I think it's always the same. Like, the rules for most of the projects are the same. Like, first try it out, play with it,
Mhm.
or jump into existing issues, pick up tests, and or just check with the maintainer, talk to the maintainer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was someone in the waiting room. So if you're still watching us, and I did not let you in because I was too much focused on what Fran is presenting, then my apologies. But just remember, we are on very active on Slack, so you can always jump into Slack and talk to us in Slack. We also have a dedicated how to contribute channel in AsyncAPI Slack. So, even though if you could not interact with us today live here, it's still possible in Slack. And are there some comments? You're laughing at some comments.
Yes. Alejandra is trolling John as well again.
Yes, I mean, there's no comments needed, I guess. It's a very well written message. Um, um, and let me show the graphic that I worked on so hard. And I think next time I'm going to make it at the top of the window, not at the bottom. So yeah, we have a conference in November. We also have a hackathon running now for I think next 10, 12 days. There's still time to do some project and to submit for the hackathon. All details are on the conference website. And the most important is the platinum sponsors: IBM, Ably, WSO2, and Solos. So thanks a lot for supporting the event.
So
What is there happening
Jesse
in the
says
chat?
that Solar's logo needs to be bigger. And by the way, we have Missy in the chat on Twitch. Missy is our shiny new designer. Finally, we'll have something better than this.
But the best is when designer gives you a like. At least I take it this comment as like it's amazing, like a soulmate. We're gonna work on design together. That's how I understood this comment.
Yes,
So thank you,
it
Missy.
is better that you think like that.
And if it comes to this question, definitely it can get bigger. It's just like you just need to be double platinum sponsor, as simple as that. Which is
we
doable.
can we next time we can do like live stream only with logos and ads in a little window like, hey, we're here.
Oh, I wish that we have a moment like this in the future, that we're gonna have so many sponsors.
No, please. I mean,
Okay.
let's not do this like the cover of the logos. We're gonna look like a razor.
Like what? Razor?
Razor, not racist.
No, I
um
didn't say racist. I mean razor. Like razor, it's what
no,
you
no,
use for
razor,
shaving.
like this driver, not drivers, pilot, like um
Racer?
forget.
You mean like a
Racer,
driver?
yeah, yeah, like this.
Ah, okay.
They're wearing these clothes with lots of logos everywhere, right?
Ah, you mean like Formula One or whatever is
Not
the English
necessarily
name?
formula, but yeah, this could be. Yeah.
Yeah, or ski jumping. They look the same.
Yeah.
Um, Labels everywhere. Okay, so anyway, we're it's 58 minutes. We don't have any more questions except of very nice comments, especially very nice comment from Missy um, about my design skills. Um, so Fran, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I mean, you have to thank Jonas, as we talked before. And
Thank you, Jonas.
and next stream is next week, Wednesday again, in the morning and afternoon, European time zone, 8 a.m. UTC, 4 p.m. UTC. Feel free to join, and of course, you can also suggest me a topic. Like Alejandra, you can suggest me a topic to let us talk about docs, and why not? The content bucket topics would be interesting to cover, but yeah, it's just a suggestion. Um, like not, I'm not
So many
expecting.
trolls.
Yeah, I can't focus. I'm just looking at this chat. Okay, I think it's time to finish. Enjoy your rest of the day. For me, it's almost the end. Um, Bye
Same for
bye.
me. Bye bye.
For you, it's come on. You like you're alive until 2 a.m. in Spain. So
Yeah, it's midday right now for me. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna go to bed like in 2 hours or something, like 2:30 at
Yeah.
least. So yeah. Thank you
Cool,
again.
folks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.